Yo, yo, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope we're doing well. It's time, it is time once again. Once again, we chat, we chill, we take whatever the hell it is we want to discuss about, and we discuss it. We contemplate it, we pick our brains with it, we explore the the rambunctious conversations that are ongoing in the world of football. And the stream title, AMRABAT injured as well? Question marks. Question marks, question marks, question marks. And it is in question. What's factual about a Sofian Amrabat injury? What's factual about it? Is it that Sofian Amrabat's got a big injury that's just it's ongoing? Is he picked up an injury on his international duties? Or is it something that he's sort of recovering from, yet still he's gone out on international duties and he's sort of like, I don't really fancy playing meaningless games of football to potentially risk my fitness. And I called it out yesterday, to be honest. I called it out yesterday. I said, look, Sofian Amrabat apparently is retracted from international duties, being replaced in the Moroccan national team, and I straight away can smell it from a mile away. It's a player definitely weaseling out of some international games, 100%, because he's just got to move to Manchester United. He knows that he's not fully feeling up to speed. So he wants to get a bit of extra time, some minutes on the Carrington training ground, sort of getting into a rhythm, a bit of a flow, getting a bit of a feel-good factor going. And, it's like one of those things. And as then other Moroccan outlets have confirmed, I think it was yesterday, but also today, just to sort of ease people's nerves a bit, confirming my alleged theory that it's just to avoid potential furtherment to an injury or causing some unneeded damage. So one of those things, bit of precaution perhaps. And they have confirmed it. They've confirmed the theory that it is a case of just chill, guys, chill. It's not serious. It's just a bit of precaution. He's just got to move to Man United. He wants to focus on making sure that he's up to speed and with fitness, good fitness, for when club football returns. And it's just another one of those cases. But I suppose the question really now to ask is, let's say it comes round Brighton. So get to the other end, fast forward to the other end of international breaks, which, by the way, is going to be quite relaxing for a United fan because we're not having to stress about watching our team try as hard as they might to play football and try to not lose our marbles, spectating our club dissolving into degeneracy that it seems to be, and perhaps undertaking more criminal-esque activities. Perhaps this international break's a bit of a blessing in disguise for United fans. Perhaps, and perhaps it's not a pleasurable escapism. I'll tell you that much. It's not a pleasurable escapism to have to give up Manchester United to go watch Southgate football. It's not a spectacular escapism, but again, it's not fantastic for most other people in most other camps, as it would seem. International football's kind of dead nowadays, unless it gets to tournament time. Everything else is just kind of dead. Scrap them international breaks, scrap them. Just, do you know what? I'll be actually more down to it being time off, like having little breaks instead of international football. What you have is just an extended break, because where you get other leagues, right? They have a winter break. They have a little period halfway through the season where everyone's just sort of like chill out, kick back, relax a little bit, and then come back, get back up to speed with trainings and all of that jazz, all of that good stuff. Obviously, last season it was a bit of a pain in the backside to actually do that because we had a World Cup right smack bang before where most of those leagues would have their winter break. So those leagues will definitely be looking forward to having a normalized schedule. I think most clubs are going to enjoy having a much more familiar, normalized playing schedule from start to finish for this season. No silly international tournaments smack bang in the middle of your league campaigns. And that's the thing. You've got these international breaks where you go away and play some meaningless games. It's kind of like, it feels like there's just every reason to just hand more games to players for people to play. And it's just like, bro, why? Why do we need more games that don't really mean anything? We just we want to relax, want to chill, want to have a normal schedule for club footballs. That's what we want to see. News coming on that AMRABAT's injury is a precaution, should be fine for the Brighton game. That is all good news, Amirali Ghaznavi. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Also, why did you guys sign that Arsenal doctor? He's a terrible injury track record with clubs. Mate, I've seen some crazy tweets going around. I've even seen someone clip up, right, what I believe is a fake tweet of someone back in 2022 saying Paul Pogba, before he left, went and buried a hyena underneath the centre circle at Old Trafford. And ever since he did that, Anthony Martial has just been rampaged with injuries left, right, and centre, and it's never had truly a 100% fitness level at any point ever since. Man's talking about voodoo, and you know what? It was actually hilarious. It's actually hilarious because I swear to God that there's that with the Pogba family, they have actually had conspicuous dealings with hoodooism. Like, genuinely, it's actually hilarious what is going on there. But maybe we are cursed. Maybe someone has literally gone and done some hoodoo magic on United, so everyone gets injured, but Manchester United just absolutely clapped, get destroyed everywhere we go every season. Everything's like, oh well, this could be good, and then it gets ruined. Maybe just the existence of Richard Arnold and John Murtaugh and the Glazers is just one big hoodoo magic curse. Maybe that's what this all is. I can't wait for this international break to be over. For you, definitely for you. I mean, as a Liverpool fan, you probably you can't wait to get stuck into more games, man. You cannot wait. I can wait for this international break to be over. Mate, we're coming back to playing Brighton. They'll rock up to Old Trafford. They're going to make a 2-1 result that happened last year and turn it into what? 3-1, 3-0, 4-1? Come turn it into. It's just be like, we've got some unfinished business here. And you know what? They're going to have some confidence coming into that game. And why wouldn't you? Your last game beat Newcastle 3-1 at your home ground. Travel away to United in absolute turmoil. You'll be completely up for that game. For real, it's actually madness. People are saying Liverpool has got a great start, but one injury to Konate, man. Oh my God. Hey, they're like, don't get me wrong, like Liverpool have started this season quite well with the way that they've played. Quite well. Points accumulation, the goals you've scored. I think goals conceded, yeah, maybe there's stuff to be worked on there a little bit. But your midfield, I'm very concerned about your midfield. Now, your centre backs, you can have some proper hairy moments, right? Your hands on your head, like, please let it stop. Please just play some normal football for 90 minutes. I ask, I pray. It's just like United fans asking for a normal week. Just a normal week, please. Just what was so hard about it? We don't want to be treated like gods. We don't want to be treated like kings. We just want normality. Just please, just normality. Something where I don't wake up on the wrong side of the bed and try to not feed this impulse to open my bedroom window and swanton bomb my ass out of it onto a concrete surface, channeling an inner Jeff Hardy. I fight this impulse, but I'll tell you what, with Liverpool, Alexis McAllister is the guy that plays the deepest role in your midfield from what I've seen. That's going to get targeted, I think. That's going to get a little bit exploited. And I think once your midfield is bypassed, that's going to be some trouble. I think you haven't really quite played a team that's quite got that memo just yet. Not just yet. I mean, Newcastle could have done. They could have done, but they just... I don't know what was going on with Newcastle. Whether it was arrogance, perhaps. Bit of arrogance, like, oh, cool, we're 1-0 up. Nice early in the game. They're down to 10 men. Let's just toy with them a bit. Let's play around with them. And then Darwin Núñez said, how about no? We don't play here. We don't play here. And taking souls and digging holes, that's what business Darwin Núñez was up to up in the north east. But do you know what? Some good stuff that you're playing. Some good stuff. Mama Flossie, good to see you. Big ups to you too. Hope you are doing well. And Van Dijk got suspended for one more game, and then he got fined 100k. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like this pompous officiating teams in this country, and I believe they're pompous, right? I believe they are, to be honest. I do. It's like they make a mistake. It's either they will go. What they'll do is they'll either issue an apology if they cock up, or what they'll do is they'll wait for a player or a club to come forth and say, right, we'd like to appeal this because we can't see the logic behind you making this decision. And they just go, haha, here's another game. Here's a fine. What's that? Oh, you guys, we saw that you had a little bit of a coming together, between a couple of players on that pitch the other day. What we're going to do is we're going to charge you, we're going to fine you for that altercation on a pitch. I mean, what's that about? What is that about? I mean, the fact that the English FA decided to go fine clubs, fine clubs and stuff. I'm like, bro, what's this about? What you're doing? It's all in the heat of competition, and the players themselves understand it. The clubs themselves understand it. Why can't the English FA? It's like, it makes no sense. I'm surprised Gomez and Matip stepped up in the last game against Villa, though. That was good to see good to see the relief man. That was actually a very commanding performance. I think I spoke about it last night on the last stream, but I did that. 3-0 is a scoreline that I think is definitely one of those where it's like, well, that's a feel-good sort of game. It is a feel-good sort of game, a good confidence booster. And you'll want to take as many of those as you can this season, albeit that it's at like the hoodoo place that is Anfield, where nobody's allowed seemingly. It's like Disney plot armor or something. The main character plot line or plot armor, it doesn't matter what you do, you can't defeat them. It's like we could play with 20 players against Liverpool's 11. 22 versus 11, right? 22 players on the pitch against Liverpool, you'd still win. You would still win. Like, it's literally, it's forbidden. If Manchester United, it seems nowadays, if clubs go to Liverpool, go to Anfield and beat Liverpool in the league, right? There's literally right on the centre circle, Klopp's going to press a big red button, and it's just going to be some massive, supermassive black hole that appears, just spontaneously appears and sucks everything in. That's probably what's going to happen if anybody decides, you know what, I fancy beating Liverpool today. But big ups. I'm channel hopping between you and TJ stream. I completely, to be honest, Motherfucker, I completely forgot that TJ was going to be live tonight. I know he's got, I think he's got, what is it? I don't know if it's, is it, is TJ actually on that stream? Because I swear he said that he was traveling. I think he said in the group chat he was traveling. I think it's Connor and DBS hosting that stream on their channel. I think they've got Jez and somebody else on. I think it was Yeti. I think it's those two as the guests as well. But yeah, big ups to those lot. Do be sure to go check out their show. That's currently ongoing at the same time as this one. Big ups to everybody that does tune into this one as well. You, if you're like me and have multiple monitors, you can literally watch multiple streams at a time. Or if you know the smarts of computer screenings, you can literally have 4 streams on your screen at the same time. Because, you know, you get that thing where you can sort of get two windowed applications stuck on a screen per screen. Do it twice over, 4 different streams at the same time. I'd need to get myself some glasses, because then I can be the 4 eyes guy. Get a watch, split my eyes 4 ways, and see 4 different content. 4 different pieces of content. He got fined for 100k for cursing at the Reds. The officiating man, it's mad. It's like, I swear you can get like red cards, yellow cards, fines, suspensions, court cases, jail time for the most peculiar things on a football pitch. It's like, keep this going. About 20 years time, if you were bent over and your arse is pointing towards the referee and you accidentally pass wind, man's literally going to have you jail for life. It's like some bloke who got arrested recently for a cryptocurrency scam. Took over $2 million worth of, or stole about $2 million worth of things off of clients or customers and stuff. Man got given an 11,000 plus year jail sentence. Literally got given an 11,000 year jail sentence. Man will die of old age and they'll keep the body in there. It's just like, guys, we've got to get the body out of there. We've got to get him out. It's decaying in there. But nah, man, you got to wait for 11,000 years. It makes no sense. I swear it was on my Twitter feed somewhere. See if I can find it again. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere on my Twitter feed. Then again, my Twitter feed has been updated since. Are you further up? Maybe you are further up. No, never mind. Literally can't find it. But yeah, some cryptocurrency scam thing, man, literally getting thousands of years. It's like the lemon grab thing. If you know your cartoons well, it's like lemon grab screaming 9 million years dungeon. It's kind of like that, literally, just sent to the Shadowrun. Walk your ass off down to that prison cell. You ain't coming back out. You can forget about what it means to see the light. You ain't seeing none until you kick the bucket, buddy. And even then, it's like, maybe they take someone who just condemns him to eternal hell or something, or maybe if you get given a multi-100,000 year jail sentence, you continue to serve that in the afterlife or something. Maybe I'm missing a trick here. Maybe I am missing a trick here. Maybe stuff that carries over into the afterlife is genuine. Who knows? Maybe you wake up in a different world and you are literally born into a jail cell, and it's just like, we heard you got an 11,000 year jail sentence from your past life. Well, you're gonna have to continue it here, mate. Fuck my life. Yeah, could never be me though. Could never be me. I ever get arrested for something, it'll probably be petty crime related. Probably. Not to say that I will go committing crimes out here, because nah, no chance. No chance. I'll go and commit a crime, and trust me, taking a 10-year jail sentence, I'll probably end up still getting a much worse sentencing from my mother or my dad, my mother or my father, who probably doom me for the rest of eternity if I were to do anything like that. But it is what it is. Speaking of which, can Harry Maguire get an 11,000-year jail sentence or something? Please, can we just lock him up for 11,000 plus years? Would be great. Would be fantastic. Would do me the world and the United fan base a world of favors. Speaking of which, speaking of footballers, and this one we're going to talk about bowlers, right? 16-year-old Lamine Yamal on his Spain debut, their youngest player and goal scorer ever. That man's balling out for Barcelona, and he seems to be balling out for the Spanish national team. Not bad. Not bad at all. How many goals did he get? That was in the second half, wasn't it? Yeah. So he scored the goal to make it 7-1. So they beat Georgia 7-1 away from home, which they had to do that. They had to go win that game, because otherwise they were in all kinds of trouble in the international groups, because this is Euro qualification. Plus the group that they're in, if I have a little look at their standings, where are they? So they're second with 6 points, and they literally got put onto 6 points with their win against Georgia, who, by the way, both Norway and Georgia in their group have got 4 points apiece. So they needed to win that game to actually get ahead of both Norway and Georgia. So they were fourth place. Now they're up to second. Scotland are running away with their group, 15 points. They are currently beating Cyprus 3-0. And the Milky Bar kid legitimately has got a goal and an assist in that game. Literally, the Milky Bar kid is getting some mad GA going on with the Scottish national team. I have no idea what's going on with them. No idea. Like, man could not do jack in a Manchester United shirt. Can't do jack for a United shirt. But second he puts on that, it's like, what is it? Paul Pogba with the French national team. Like, man's just balling out for the French national team. But when he played for United, it was just had nothing to offer. Just had nothing to give. But yeah, Scott McTominay, Scott McChicken Sandwich, Scott McMelky Barkid is balling out for the Scottish national team. Speaking of international games, England, play Ukraine away. Where is that taking place? Taking place in, I believe, in Poland, Tarzinski Arena, Wrocław or something. I don't know how on earth you pronounce it, but yeah, we are playing Ukraine away, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, that first Southgate team selection is going to it's going to be something else. It's going to be something else. I'm fully expecting and waiting for some absolute mind-boggling setup. And by mind-boggling, usually you would expect to be pleasantly surprised by something like that. But no, not with this Southgate team. When you're on the Southgate team and you get surprised, it's always for the wrong reason. So hopefully we don't get none of that nonsense. None of that nonsense, please. Give players that deserve a chance. That'll all be good. Du-du-du-du-du-du. But yeah, see what else is going on. If there's anything fresh on the agendas. Yeah, man, there's literally nothing going on. Literally nothing going on. But I'll tell you what, there's still lots and lots of people talking about this Jadon Sancho situation. A lot of people talking about it, and do you know what? A lot, there's a lot of people who've got very distinct things to say about it, and I think it's sort of what does the narrative or the what is it the mutual what is the mutual feeling, not with United fans, but with just fans in general, fans of football in general. What is the mutual feeling about this? Because I can understand where people perhaps sit there and they say, well, I don't like, you know, I don't like Ten Hag coming out and criticizing a player in public. I don't like that. There's also the opposite side of the coin. People say, I don't like it when Sancho comes out or claps back against the manager for what he believes in. And I suppose a part of it sort of, we're sort of in this position right now where it's like, well, do we take sides in this? What is it people want out of this? I don't want to take sides of this. I don't want to sit here and say, oh, I want to back my manager. I want to back my player, my baller. Yeah, I want to do that. What I want is a manager that's getting the best out of his players, but his players giving absolutely everything in every walk of life, every walk of football. They like this is their livelihoods. This is what they live for, right? Football's what they live for. Why aren't you living and breathing football? A lot, and that's kind of the thing. Modern day footballers, they're all sort of in the camp of, well, I get paid X Y Z amount of money. I'm sort of earning a very large sum of cash every single week, and Jadon Sancho is definitely in that sort of pool. I'm one to believing things old school, right? That there is a pyramid of power at a football club, and respect on a basic level sort of has to conform to that power structure. That a manager has power over players, the board has power over manager and players. And player power is essentially when a player will go and they'll do something or they'll say something that would require from the manager's end disciplinary action, but they don't enact to said disciplinary action because of a policy at the club or someone else with more sufficient power saying or overruling or ruling just outright with an iron fist. For me, I look at this Sancho situation, I'm just like, how about Sancho, if he disagrees with anything, you go and speak to the manager. You go and speak to the manager, say, that's not cool. Can you please just say something in the media, right? To say that, to sort of save face to the situation. I understand you're not happy with me. Allow me to prove to you, right, that I am giving everything in training. let everybody see that I am giving everything in training. And there's a lot of people with the arguments to say, well, you know, players, whether they train well or not, some of the, you know, some of the best players in football history have never enjoyed training. They've never enjoyed training. I mean, most players, I'm sure, don't enjoy training. That's just, yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like if someone's trying to go through all sorts of things, right? They're trying to go somewhere in life. A lot of people don't enjoy the hard grafting to get to the end point of their journey. They don't enjoy it. Training somewhat like that. A lot of players just want to get out on that football pitch and start playing. Start playing competitive football. Get out on there in the football pitch, get minutes in, have that ball at your feet, and just enjoy your thing. Just enjoy your ting. Do your ting. Make your bread. That's what people want to do. That's what players want to do. But I just feel like when you have a manager like Ten Hag, it's not like if there's other trainings, right, where a manager's less demanding on doing various specific instructions. Because as much as we say, and that's the thing, a lot of people seem to have forgotten this when they talk about, you know, training this and that, is Ten Hag is very observant to the very, very fine details. You know, he's very obsessive about all the different elements of the training of all different elements of the club as well. And it's like he would have had something that's been brewing with Jadon Sancho. I think something's been brewing between the two parties for a little while. And I think perhaps Ten Hag's response to that is a bit of frustration. I know it's definitely straight after a loss and losing in the way that we did. And I think that Jadon Sancho was probably on his last line or last life with this manager as well. So they've had a butting of heads. I believe that from a player's perspective, that what you've done is you've very openly disregarded the power structure of what should be at a football club. Very openly disregarded it because you've gone against what your manager has said. I believe that if there has been an element, or if you feel as though you've been disrespected, you know, a manly thing to do is, you know, take it to be face to face. You know, don't get people to start a social media war, because that's not how men deal with things. You don't go and start going keyboard warriors. You don't do that. You just don't do that. You go and you deal with problems face to face. Someone has upset you somewhere, go and deal with it face to face, man to man. Go and deal with it more professionally than that. I think it gives you a lot more respect from your manager straight away, a lot more respect, because the second that tweet goes out or that Instagram post, whatever it is, the second that goes out, your manager, if they've criticized you in public, you think you're going to get your manager on your side. I think there's going to be not one, not two, not three, not four talks. There's probably going to need to be months worth of chatting and pulling your ends of the rope to find some middle ground, to find somewhere where you can diffuse the situation a little bit. You know, put pastures old behind you. You know, put what's past is past. You know, we've got things to focus on in the future. But I've seen these arguments as well take a bit of a turn towards the way in which media paints players, right? And a lot of people talking about a subject of racism, right? That a lot of what the media says about players of colour about situations in comparison to other players who are white, that it's, that there are racial undertones in said media postings. And to be honest, I believe that there are various, media reports in the past that have contained racial undertones to them. I do believe that there have been posts in the past. I do believe that there have been publications. It's and I was watching, and Ransom Bats is someone who has taken big issue to this, right? And he has said that a lot of people that are on this witch hunt for Jadon Sancho, it's just racist. The witch hunt itself for Jadon Sancho is racially motivated. And I think that certain aspects, right? Certain aspects, I can understand his point. Certain aspects. I don't believe where I come from with if I'm criticizing, because this, from just my standpoint, if I start to criticize Jadon Sancho, I don't do it because I think, oh, well, player of color, lazy this, lazy that. It's like with Anthony Martial. It's like people say, oh, but look how lazy he is on the pitch. Look how much he doesn't care and all of that. I'm like, chill. There's so many other players that play week in, week out that don't do the things that you expect players to do, right? And you don't at all give them the slightest light of day. Just beep. Not even a peep. Not even a peep. So I think that there are some racially motivated publications and have been in the past about players of colour. It's like Raheem Sterling. How many times have news reports come out talking about something Raheem Sterling has done and said, oh, that's disgraceful that he does this, or look at what he's doing. I'm like, brother, there's that many more white players doing the same thing. You don't care about them. But the second a black player does something, send it to the front page, send it to the back page. There have been publications like that in the past. I have seen them. It's like some publications out there, you say, there's no chance that that same publication happens for a white player, but because it's a black player, have at it, apparently. Jamelio, good to see you. Big ups to you, mate. Didn't notice the notification until now. Currently switching between your stream and TJ's. Yeah, man. I know that TJ his channel's currently live. Honestly, I literally just forgot that there was a show going on TJ's show. I know that he'd probably go on for longer. I think tonight, because there's not really anything to talk about, literally it's just gone into international football, and next to nothing has happened. Like, I was contemplating, do I go just a video, talk about AMRABAT stuff? Do I go live and see what else there is? And literally, I was just hoping, please give me something else to talk about. Literally, by the time 5 minutes before I go live, I'm looking at what's going on. AMRABAT injury story is the only thing really that's going on, and everyone's still talking about something that happened literally the same afternoon since Sunday. It is Saturday tomorrow. People still talking about it. And it's like, But yeah, I probably won't actually be live for that much longer. I'll probably wrap things up quite soon. It's quite a short one. Tonight, but literally nothing really to talk about. AMRABAT injury while United really are in the mud. Apparently, it's one of those tactical injuries, Player goes on international break, gets injured, has to withdraw from the international team. The very next day, he's got a training top on and he's absolutely just running around like a headless chicken. Guarantee it's something. I think it's one of those situations that has occurred with AMRABAT. I think because the way that everything is going on with Man United at the moment, the second there's slightest bit of controversy, slightest bit of anything, everyone's in overdrive, right? Everyone's in absolute overdrive, and I think there's one of those. We don't have the rose tinted glasses on at the moment. We have the shit coloured tinted glasses. Um, so yeah, brown tinted glasses makes everything look like shit, and that's kind of what life is like as a Manchester United fan. As it would seem, United should go for Jeff Hendrick on loan in January out of favour at Newcastle, and you wanted him years ago. Was that when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was still here? I swear it was, what was it? Sean Longstaff that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted. He wanted a McLongstaff. He wanted the McLongstaff midfield pivot. Fucking Christ almighty. Imagine Jeff... no, actually, get this. Imagine this midfield. Scott McTominay, Sean Longstaff, Jeff Hendrick. That's a midfield for tears. Absolute tears. Blood, sweat, and tears. The media is so contradictory. We apparently have to laugh at this current United injury crisis, yet we feel sorry for Liverpool's injury crisis in 2021. I do see a lot of contradictions in media postings, 100%. It's just one of those things, because even if, like, I don't think they really care if they contradict. I don't, like, if they probably would, without a second glance, post within a couple of minutes of each other two stories that completely cancel each other out. But because if you write one story, people react to it, go, oh my God, click, 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 click. Second story comes out, oh my God, click, 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 click. Even if they completely cancel each other out, they'll probably come around to it later on. It's like, oh, that's right. Oh, what's that about? Oh, we don't care. You've already clicked on our stories. We've got interaction, and your interactions are paid us. But we know that if we write something else, even if you say our credibility is dead in the water, we'll post something else out there, and you will go, oh, well, I mean, it's those guys, isn't it? Oh yeah, I said that wouldn't click on their stop, but click, 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 click. They'll still do it. They'll still do it. Yeah, there's tactical injuries. I remember that absolute scum named Stephen Ireland did that once. There's another player. There is another player. United and AC Milan were interested in Jeff Hendrick had to endure the pain of watching him more than 50 times, and he makes Scott McTominay look world class. And I'll tell you what, Jiminho, Scott McTominay has actually got a goal and an assist tonight. Literally, man has got a goal and an assist for Scotland. I'd like his GAs for the national team is just ridiculous. Like, what's going on? Why can't he have this contribution to United? I was laughing all the way through that Liverpool crisis, but I give less of a fuck about United one. Mate, watching Liverpool go through a crisis is funny. Watching Chelsea go through a crisis is funny. Watching United go through a crisis is just depressing. It's depressing because it's literally, you're watching people deprive everything from up top, and it's like you've watched it burning for years and years and years, and the fans are in absolute disarray with it, and have been since the takeover originally happened back in 2005. It's like it's been ongoing for that long, so every crisis is just like, oh, they're in another crisis. Well, no, we're not in another crisis or a new crisis. We've been in crisis since 2005. We have been in a state of crisis since 2005. It's just now it's all come to a head. It's all come to a head, and now it's really all open for the whole world to see. They would do that for clicks and PR and the attention. They do. They absolutely do. I remember when Thomas Partey allegations came out, Arsenal midfielder allegedly raped woman, possibly Partey. Half an hour later, Partey didn't travel with the team. Partey did travel with the team. Oh yeah, was that one of Lee's best mates or something? Is that one of Lee Gunner's best mates? What was it? Eduardo Pagan, he calls him. Was it Eduardo Pagan? Got sacked, I think, after that. what had literally just started writing for Arsenal as well, pop that publication out there, gets sacked because it was factually incorrect. My oh my. Yeah, Stephen Hyland's an absolute shambolic prick who faked the death of his own grandmother so that he wouldn't lose 5-2 to the mighty fucking Cyprus, priggy bastard. My God. Yeah, everyone was just making up more waffle and PR stories from the party situation every half hour. Wait, that's the thing. Is I mean, no one's actually said anything as confirmation whether it actually was party or not. So I don't actually know factually what it is, what's legitimately gone on. All I know is that where people have chucked Thomas Partey's name into the hat, and coincidentally with the process of things going on or how the season has progressed or had progressed, that at the time when the club kept coming out saying, "Oh, the club have asked for extensions to a certain pause on the investigation period or something," and Thomas Partey continued to play, and it's just like, well, who else could it be? You know, it's a lot of questions. A lot of questions. Eduardo Pagan. 5-2 to fucking Cyprus. All those 11 rat bags are lucky the result doesn't happen right now, or else they'd never hear the end of it from me. Can't stand Stephen Ireland. I doubt they'd hear the end of it from you now, Jaminho. I doubt they'd hear the end of it now. It wouldn't surprise me if Xhaka did it and then fled the country afterwards. Wouldn't surprise me knowing that absolute twat. Ooh, crikey, 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 crikey. Tell you what, it'd be quite shocking if it were to come to light at whatever time. Even after all of that, all of this talk of abuse, assault, whatever it is from players, whatever it is, still pales in comparison to the fact that our club invited literally a Jimmy Savile-esque person to a fucking women's team's game and made him guest of honor. Fucking hell. Oh my Christ. It baffles me. It really baffles me. Don't sack Richard Arnold. Don't sack John Murtagh. Don't sack them. No, arrest them. Put them in jail where they belong. Sup, legend. Sup, Big T. I'm not going to be live for much longer, to be honest with you, mate, because there's literally nothing going on tonight. I was contemplating between going live and just doing a video and keeping the door for content creation open, because literally there's various different things. It's like I don't want to constantly do what some other channels do, where it's like they'll talk about something for a whole week, and it's just like, oh, that's just boring. You talk about the same thing all week, even if it is a big subject. It's like I want to cover it once and once only, and that's kind of it. I just want to move on to something else. It was definitely enjoying that game. Typical United inviting that retard. Mate, he's a pedo. They literally invited a convicted paedophile. So to call him a pedo, you can call him a retarded pedo. You can do that if you fancy it, but I'm assuming Hot Fuzz is definitely Richard Arnold and John Murtagh out. Mate, I've been Richard Arnold and John Murtagh out before Woodward left. I wanted them gone before Ed Woodward left. I wanted them gone for years, right? I wanted them out since Louis van Gaal got sacked. I've wanted them out since then, because that's when I turned all of my attention and energy towards my board. That's when I stopped caring about whatever the fuck it is a manager's doing. All I care about is the fact that the people running my club are running it into the ground, fully well knowing so that they're doing it. McTominay scoring an international goal, different piece for Scotland. An assist as well, mate. An assist as well. He's got that Bruno Fernandes GA, you know. Got that Fernandes GA levels, bro. Richard Arnold is an absolute idiot. The guy's spineless. He's the sissy. Like, if you get a group of lads, a group of mates, he's the sissy of the group. Literally. He is the sissy. Man literally got clipped up at a pub with fans saying, like, literally selling his friend down the river, right? His lifelong friends, or friends since college or uni. Selling him down the river, saying, oh, Red Bull spent this amount of money. Whoa, about £1 million. Oh, look around Carrington, where is £1 million? And like, mate, you know where that money's gone. You watched it get flushed down the toilet. You know where it's gone. You could just say, well, we put that amount of money into it, and to be honest, you know, it's not being well spent at all. We want to improve on how it is we're spending money, and perhaps that's been on the cards of discussions. Perhaps it is, because yeah, we've seen news reports most of the summer talking about it. You're talking about, oh well, we want to, we don't want to overpay for players, but that's funny you say that, actually, guys, because you've ended up overpaying for 2, maybe 3 players this summer. Good job. You know, there's your sarcastic thumbs up. You see, it's like sarcasm is spelled across my fist. You know, he's scored 2 goals twice in the space of 4 days for Scotland. Scotland McShite is world class playing for them. I'll tell you what, if we give Scott McTominay a Scotland shirt whenever he plays for United, do you reckon that he turns into prime Sergio Busquets or something? Prime Busquets, prime Rodri, prime everybody. Literally turns into Messi or Ronaldo. Pile drives one from the fucking halfway line, like Rooney used to against West Ham. Maybe that's just a trick. Maybe if you challenge a player's patriotism, what will happen is, out of nowhere, these players will go up to new heights you've never seen before. Richard Arnold is about as bad as Edu. I believe he's worse. And one key factor about it is that what you get with Edu is the guy will make bad decisions, right? He make bad decisions. A few good ones, but predominantly bad decisions. Richard Arnold don't make bad decisions. He doesn't. He makes no decisions. No decisions. Delegation City, Delegation Central. Will get everybody else to decide for me on all the big decisions, and I will have our PR teams write it as it's, oh, it was a club decision. It was a club decision. We all unanimously agreed. What happened? You sat down the table in a boardroom meeting. You gave your opinion. Everyone said, you're fucking stupid, Richard. You dick. And then they literally wrapped it all up, and it's like, okay, guys, we'll go with all of your decisions then. Richard Arnold, you spineless twat. Literally. That's literally what it is. But yeah, man should be sacked from this club, or better yet, arrested. You know, it's not every day you invite a convicted paedophile to a women's team's game for sexual offences against underage teenage girls. Literally, it's not every day. It's not any day. It's not any day you do that. At the same time, McShite once got dominated by a midfield diamond of Hendrick, Hurahan, Brown and Malumbi. Fred could dominate that midfield diamond by himself, not even being funny. Fred's got one hell of an engine on him. He's got one heck of an engine. Like, man runs for days. Man literally runs like he's got the fitness of Mo Farah. But he's so inconsistent with what he does with the ball. So inconsistent. And he's not very heads up about, defensively heads up. He's not really that sort of player. He's very much a sort of box to box carrier, but again, like I said, inconsistencies. You don't get the best of Fred every game. You'll get the best of Fred once every 4 or 5 games. You know, it's not enough for Manchester United. Edu is class. It probably is classless, but Edu is clueless. I mean, Jesus Christ, anybody that sucks on your own family member's toes, I mean, Christ almighty, you are clapped. You're not flipping burgers or hot dogs on your barbecue, you're flipping toes. You little fucking toes sucking maggot. Edu is clueless. I cannot deal with him. I hope he gets sacked immediately. I'll tell you what, if you get yourself a world class, like, this is the thing, like, Cronky this, Cronky that, you get yourself someone who is world class at their job, take over the reins from Edu Gaspar, and a manager to come in that's got it all. Arsenal, give or take a year or two, they'll be competing for league titles like it's nobody's business. Even if you are trying to save some money, even if you are trying to cut a corner or two, at the end of the day, if you've got a strong boardroom setup, right, that knows what it's doing, even with crap ownership, you can still achieve success domestically, intercontinentally. It's like FSG with Klopp and Michael Edwards underneath them. That partnership brought success back to Liverpool. Michael Edwards left. What do you know? Bad boardroom negotiations, no real sense of direction. Troubles follow. Success starts to be driven away. It's no secret. Richard Arnold and Edu are world class when it comes to gaining PR for the club. They are. Well, what you do is you get a chief editor of a publication local to your football club, like a Samuel Luckhurst, and turn him into your turn him into your chief editor or chief writer for your football club's PR relations. You don't often get the best out of most of our players lately. We don't get the best out of anybody. Can't get the best out of anybody at Manchester United. No one's really that interested. That midfield diamond is the worst diamond I've ever seen. They're the 4 worst midfielders I've ever watched, and that says a lot. Fred would still dominate it by himself. Would he dominate it if he was forced to run backwards with a blindfold on? Would he still dominate it as distinctively that way? Or I'll tell you what would be hilarious. I would like to see that diamond, right? That midfield diamond that you selected, right? And have you seen the video where those 3 players take on, like, what was it, 300 kids? Literally 300 kids or something like that. Just get that diamond to go up against 400 kids. See if they can score a goal against 400 kids. That's hilarious. Van der Beek would dominate that midfield by himself. To be honest, Van der Beek is seriously underrated. I believe he's got some mad qualities on him. It's just he needs games, consistent games, just to actually be able to prove himself. But whether he gets that out of Manchester United, probably not. I think that race has been run. I think he's got to go do it somewhere else. Kai Havertz would dominate that midfield by himself, actually. Now we're pushing it. Your thoughts on Anana playing a false 4 for us, mate? Not gonna lie, mate. The false DM. Is that the false DM role that he plays? It's just like he appears as a defensive midfielder, and everyone's just like, "What the fuck? Swears the goalkeeper a second ago." What he does is he's got a double-sided top. So on the outside, he's got the Manchester United yellow goalkeeping top on, but on the inside, if he flips it inside out, it's the Manchester United home kit or away kit. And then what he does is he takes his gloves off and leaves them on the goal line, and he runs out and starts playing outfield. And then before you know it, before you can see it, he runs all the way back, puts everything back on again. That's probably what's the secret plan of Andre Onana. So everybody can't tell that the goalkeeper's actually in midfield. Yes, he would still dominate in that way. That's how awful they are. If I think if me and you played as a double pivot, midfield will dominate that diamond. Oh my goodness me. Van der Beek should go back to Ajax on loan. I think he should. Some sort of club at various levels. I know. I'll tell you what. Van der Beek should have gone to Real Sociedad. Should have gone there. Would have played with to various people the best left back on the planet. You know, everyone's baller. If you went to play with Kieran Tierney at Real Sociedad, I'll tell you what, he'd be a favourite in your book. Saying Havertz would dominate isn't pushing it. If you watch that diamond, you'd know exactly where I'm coming from. They're all pricks. I wish them on anyone except Rangers and Liverpool. Don't give FSG or their board any ideas, Jaminho. They'll actually do it. That Kubo guy from Real Sociedad is class as well. I know he came from Real Madrid. I'm pretty sure he came from Real Madrid. But yeah, it's. I think I've seen him like once or twice playing in the Europa League group stages last season. But yeah, he was all right. He was all right. Didn't do anything special, too special against Manchester United, but he was all right. Real Sociedad is my new favourite Spanish club. To be honest, my favourite Spanish club. What would my favourite Spanish club be? I mean, I could do the typical content creators thing where they seem to all be in love with Real Oviedo or something. Maybe go do something like that. Real Oviedo. Maybe we'll go and just go liking those clubs. Why not? If you saw them signing, so it's for signing for Liverpool, you'd be celebrating, mate. I'd expect to see, like the Great Fire of London. I'd expect to see the Great Fire of Liverpool and Merseyside, just Anfield completely ablaze. I watched him for 45 minutes the other day, and he was brilliant. My other favourite club is Atletico Madrid. I'll tell you what, for a very bastard team, it's like a lot of people don't like them just solely because of the way that they play, but you can't help but have admiration for the fact that they've essentially upset the established order of La Liga. These two teams that were just winning it every year, no one had the slightest hope and prayer. But Atletico Madrid came along and said, no, we are changing the course of La Liga history by getting our foot not stuck in the door. We're getting our whole goddamn body stuck in the door. And we are not moving. You are not getting us out. But everyone hates Atletico because they're shit house pricks. I love it. And that's literally just what I said. That just because of the way that they play, that's just there seems to be a reason why people dislike them. I'm just like, but look at what they've done. Look at what the club are doing. Look at where they've come from. You can't help but have admiration on the journey they've been on, from where they've come from to where they are going. How many suspensions would a Simeone Premier League team get a season? How many matches would he watch from the stats? Man might have to actually just rent out a VIP box and just start from up there. I swear to God, he might as well start a season. What was it? I swear it was it Nigel Pearson tried to do what rugby managers do and actually sit up in like an executive box or something and watch the game from a much higher position and just call down to all the guys that are on pitch side. Swear he did that. But mate, the Simeone team in the Premier League, trust me. Talk about referee watch. Every week is just Simeone watch. Atletico are a joy to watch. I'll never get their 5-0 masterclass comeback at Anfield. At one point, it was a 7-3-0 with Partey playing as a fifth centre back. That's where Arteta got his ideas from. That's where he got it from. I'll never forget Simeone doing that celebration against Juventus. I'm assuming you've seen it too, probably. Yeah, the one where it's just like, suck it. The fact that Ronaldo came back on the return leg, and I swear to God, he went and scored a hat-trick and literally did the same suck it celebration. Simeone was just like, please, I don't want to speak. I don't want the interview. He's trying to avoid, probably trying to avoid the cameras like Haaland was trying to avoid that interview in the tunnel. Didn't want nothing to do with it. Simeone once stopped a counter-attack by grabbing a ball off the ball boy and lettering it to the opposite attack. I love the clips where it's like the managers like the balls come bouncing out to the touchline. The manager just literally just scuffs it so badly that it goes and bounces into one of the goals. I've seen a clip of somebody doing that. It was actually hilarious because everyone just went wild in the stadium. I remember all of your fans were throwing bottles at Simeone at Old Trafford, and he had to run off for his own safety. Mate, it's toxic behaviour, guys. Fucking throwing shit at a manager, just missiles, projectiles, and everything. It's like shit like that happens on a weekly out in La Liga. Literally, just weekly. I mean, shit's happening to Lionel Messi out in the MLS. Like, man's literally playing in a league where about 5-10 years ago, these people are just like, come on, Seattle. And that was their best chant in the whole league, to now literally having ultras at 99% of the clubs and people literally treating football more like a religion out there. The crazy difference that, literally a couple of seasons make. Diego Simeone once tripped up an opposition counter-attack. We got too close to the touchline as well and never changed Diego. I always love, managers do the shithousery stuff. It's like, I know it was not a serious game, right? But when Mourinho was doing the soccer raid, man ran off, literally sat on the bench. It's just like, you know what, fuck this. Literally went down and ran onto the pitch whilst Ollie Mers had the ball and just clocked him. I loved it when Mourinho just went and did that. Just went on the pitch where he shouldn't be and just clocked Ollie Mers. Yes, Mourinho. Yes. I love how Simeone always buys Barcelona players out of spite. David Villa, Suarez, Griezmann, Depay. He just does it out of spite, I'm convinced. I swear to God, when they rebought Griezmann on a loan deal, is that a clause to pay off to Barcelona a certain amount of money for the Griezmann deal that they had struck up, that Griezmann needed to play a certain amount of minutes. Diego Simeone shithoused the ever-loving fuck out of it every time by literally subbing off Griezmann at nonsensical times, literally just out of nowhere. Oh yeah, Griezmann, you're going to come off now. Oh yeah, Griezmann, you're going to come off now. It's just like, most people would be like, what the fuck? And it's just like, Paul, no. He's deliberately doing it so that they don't have to pay this big money clause to Barcelona. Because that's just how it is. You just absolutely just shit all over. Just absolutely mental. Did you hear that that fan who ran on and swung at Grealish passed away earlier this year, I think? Or was that the Birmingham City player? I swear it was the Birmingham City player when it was Aston Villa versus Birmingham in like the Championship or something. And literally fans just ran on the pitch, came from behind him and just like completely scuffed it as well. Just completely like didn't even connect. It's just like, oh, clothesline. It's like a proper wrestling clothesline. It's just, I don't even know. Diego Simeone fight after UCL final as well. Atletico versus Porto, 3 added time goals, a huge 8-minute fight. Porto are lethal as well, mate. Do you know what? Diego Simeone. Who would fight fire with fire? I'm trying to think of a manager, because if Diego Simeone goes and manages like a River Plate against Boca's Juniors, right? But another really fiery, hot-headed manager is on the other side of things. Maybe an Antonio Conte or something, and he's on the other side, or Jose Mourinho's on the other side. Boca Juniors versus River Plate, and Diego Simeone and Mourinho are respective managers. My God, it's not fights; it's just outright murder. Literally, it's just AKs in the ground, fucking spamming bullets in the sky. It's just absolute war zone. I swear down. How would Fergie have dealt with Simeone as a rival manager week in, week out? Mate, I'll tell you what, that could have been quite, quite sort of head to head, you know, got sort of a bit of headbutting going on, I think, between those two. Simeone benched Griezmann for 3 months straight because of it. I'd absolutely love to see Simeone, Mourinho, Conte somehow get drawn into the same UCL group. Oh. Atletico Porto is going to be a ban fixture soon, probably. Boca versus River Plate in 30 days' time. I'm going to watch for the sake of the fights. Hey, it's the fans as well. The fans out in Argentina are ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They are so, like, they are brutal. They are ruthless. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Boca versus River needs to have fans banned soon. That's how bad it is. I swear it's kind of quite bad with the Atletico versus Real Madrid in the streets of Madrid before a game kicks off. Like, they literally sounds like a war zone in the streets of Madrid every time that they, that the ultras clash with each other. That's mental. It's absolutely mental. I've seen, I think, what was it? Copa 90 went and covered it. Some football rivalries, and they were literally in the streets of Madrid before a game. In the last game at the Vicente Calderano, I think was the old stadium name before it got renovated or knocked down. And man, it was like there were explosions and literally they were having to duck for cover. It's mental. Rodrigo de Paul and Paredes are lethal for yellow cards, reds, tactical foul street, Halsey. I'd pay good money to see them on opposite teams for Boca versus River with Simeone Mourinho managing. Mate, absolute classing that would undergo on that pitch. But I'm going to have to wrap things up there, people. Was going to be a slightly shorter one tonight, but literally not an awful lot to talk about in the news front of things, but it has been an entertaining stream nonetheless. Very, very entertaining. Talking about Simeone punching people up and starting fights and just all the wars in which Simeone's been on. It's always really enjoyable, and the fact that it's just so relaxed. There's no debating. There's no fighting going on. It's not. I mean, maybe I get as guests to one of these shows, Mourinho and Simeone, to get onto camera and just be like fighting each other just on camera and just making that a debate. That would be absolutely hilarious to watch. But I think 2-minute punch-ups should be allowed in football. They can add 2 minutes on its extra time. Big T, funny thing you say that. They let them scrap in ice hockey. Let them do it in football too. Boca and River were meant to play in August, but they had to postpone it. Yeah, big ups to you, Jamino. Thank you very much. Big ups to everybody else. Punch the fourth official. I know it was, what was it, Jesus or somebody punched the VAR monitor and broke it. I vote in favour of that. Go for it. Just a big punch up. Like good old days. But yeah, big ups to everybody. Big up for Jamino, Big T, Mama Flossie, and Amirali Ghaznavi. Always fantastic to see the regulars in here. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Thank you very much for those of you who have liked, who have tuned in. I don't think we've had any new subscribers. Let me just double check real quick. No, we're still 97 subs. So we're sort of hit a roadblock at the moment with the subscriber count. But then again, we'll probably just have to wait until the viewership starts to pick up or go up another level before we see the subscribers start to rein in. The day will come. But until then, We do what we do. We do it because we love it, and we do it because everybody else loves it as well. You know, that's just how it is. At the end of the day, doing it because we all love it, and we all want to talk about this sort of stuff. So pleasant way to spend time. Pleasant way to spend time. But yeah, big ups to everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. Anyhow, we'll try and make it to the zone if footballers boxed each other, mate. That's probably going to come up next. We've had YouTube boxing. Now we could probably get football boxing. We already have it with, what was it, Phil Bardsley and Wayne Rooney as well. I've got not a sparks clean out. But yeah, big ups to everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one. If TJ's show is still live, go over there and drop him some love in the chat as well. Big ups to everybody. It's T.J.Warren for anybody that is wondering what the channel name is, where it is currently live. Big ups to everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. Ciao for now.